Good morning, everyone. My name is Alexandros and I'm the Secretary of the International Tourism Hospitality Management Society. It's a great honor to have here with us today Mr. Alexandros Angelopoulos. Mr. Angelopoulos has studied business management at Boston University and has successfully completed his postgraduate studies in international management at Boston College. He has also graduated the BBB program of New York Cornell University. He is currently holding the position of the Vice President of Aldemar Resorts Group. Aldemar Resorts Group is one of the leading resort chains that has 28 years of activity in the Greek tourism industry. Mr. Angelopoulos has been active in the family business as Executive Director since 1995, working hard towards ideas and policies that open up new horizons in the Greek hotel business and place tourism at the core of Greek economic activity. Further to his work at Aldemar Resorts, Mr. Angelopoulos is also very active in the wider Greek tourism industry, having served on the board of directors of several prestigious organizations, including the Hellenic Entrepreneurs Association, the Greek-Russian Chamber of Commerce, and the Association of Greek Tourism Enterprises. He is also the chair of the Environmental Policy Committee of the Hellenic Chamber of Hotels and a member of the advisory board of BCA College. Let's please welcome all Mr. Alexandros Angelopoulos.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Yep. Okay. I will attempt to do something hopefully drastically different than what you've been used to hearing. Is it only today or is it more than today? I'm not really sure. Since Monday, so on the last day. I want this to be a little bit more interactive since this is a more philosophical approach to business and to the hotel industry that I'm representing. And I will try not to be too strict on following rules on my presentation, as this is not the scope of either your or mine philosophy. Students have to be free and listen to whatever they think or feel whenever they listen to something, rather than being told what to do. And this is the approach that I will follow today. I was looking to our favorite Facebook in the last year, in the last 3 days, and I found this very nice joke by our cast. I'm sure most of you understand what it says. And I found it quite linked to information technology. So we have a guy who's probably the sick, still alive, I guess. Sick, alive. I'm not really sure what the answer will be. The fact remains that information technology is a challenging issue today, and while it presents us with quite a few options, it leaves us with a question whether it is serving as a substitute of workforce, of labor, of human totality. Yes, we are informed. To what end? So the question remains whether we are sitting in that bed, and if information technology is linked to our demise as a working force. The only thing we need to do is just ask the right questions, link the right pieces to a puzzle where all the pieces are here. We're not missing any pieces, we're just not answering sometimes the right questions, and this is what we need to do. Now that's a question for you. I would really like to hear someone tell me if they have a complete answer whether information technology is really good or bad, or if it's good in some ways and bad in some other ways. And this, in the process of our speech, is going to become more and more obvious, not by me, but by what you think of what you will see. Would you like to take a shot at it right now?
I will let the students first, but if they don't answer,
as an information technology professor in the hospitality and tourism of the department, I would say it's only a tool. So it can be good or it can be bad, depending on the use.
Guys, you can take a shot at any time you want. You can disrupt me. I'm not going to go flowing my speech towards any end. Whatever you think, pop up and say it. This is the question. This is the question I'm going to attempt to answer in the following 30 minutes. We're in the digital age. You know everything about the digital age. It followed the industrial age. During the industrial era, people were aimed at production. During the digital age, we have a little bit of a different approach to life, a little bit more stressful in the sense that we don't produce as much, but we consume more. The fact is that consuming has to be linked to producing, whether we like it or not. If you're not able to produce, you don't make any money. If you don't make any money, you don't get to consume. So, mostly you will have to adapt to this new economy, acquire a new set of skills, and see whether you can fit in, because this is the biggest question that we'll have to answer in the following years. So facts. New economy, new skills, new workplaces. When you come out of here, you will be faced with challenges that are not necessarily obvious to you right now, but I'm sure most of you will be concerned. What should I study? What do I do with my studies? Which is my aim? Where do I want to go? How will I make money? Because most people are concerned about making money. We'll come back to that because it's not necessarily the right question to ask. So, what does producing to consuming mean? What is the difference between the two eras, the industrial and the digital era? It's sort of a bottleneck. Population in this world increases. We're looking at something around 10 million people in the planet, while jobs are being reduced, are less. So more people looking for jobs, and the bottleneck effect is that we are all looking for the same opportunities, which are slim or less. A challenge you will have to accept as a fact, and you have to work hard to find a way to be in this place rather than back here. Let's talk about you, the youngest generation, or the Generation Y, as you are called. I'm still part of the Generation X. I know I look very young. I'm still the X guy, and you are the Y guy. Now, Y is has a sort of a joke behind it. Why? I'm sure you have so many questions about everything, yet you are the new generation of narcissists in this world. Not because of your fault, because of the digital tools that we have in our hands. I've been looking at Facebook for the last 3 years and I see people enjoying whoever they are through this, whatever means you want to call that. I'm not really a fan of Facebook and I use it quite as much as you do. Hooked, if you want. But the fact remains that it's not a real tool. It does not do anything for us. It doesn't produce anything for us. Can someone tell me what are the options? What are the implications of getting hooked to Facebook? Or what are the opportunities? Maybe there are opportunities which I'm not seeing. What is Facebook for you? Pop anything, whatever comes to mind.
It's easy.
It is. Now that's a very tempting thing not to answer to.
Way to connect and get your message across.
Absolutely.
Easy advertisement area.
Challenging though. They were considering making it somehow less easy or cheap for us. I think they were looking at some kind of a premium, a yearly premium, which should not go through the board. Of course, if it went through the board, none of us would be using Facebook. There would be another Facebook coming out of the closet 1 year from now, probably. Easy to advertise, easy, getting a message across. Generation Y is characterized by one thing that's very, very important. It's more collective than any previous generation. People get closer together and think more collectively than anyone before. They have ideals. They consider the environment not as a necessity, not as a message to pass across, but as a necessity. They think of things that our generation had them for granted. It's actually your time. It's not even my time. And I'm not even that old. It's your time. But it's your time and your challenge. Whether you accept it or not, whatever you decide in this place where you are here, and in the 4 years, however many you have ahead of you for starting, whatever choices you make will follow you for the rest of your life. One of you will be a leader. I really hope so, because this country doesn't have a leader anymore. It's looking for one. And if you see the messages coming through the crisis, you see leadership positions, leadership stances like yours. But it's a fact. People try to get ahead of their time, try to control whatever is used in this country. One of you will be the leader. Money. I'm sure they've taught you that money is the aim. Money is the goal. I would urge you to forget it. Money is a means. Nothing more. Use it wisely. Live in prosperity. The product is the aim. The problem with Greece, the problem with most economies is that they have diverted their course from the product line. They don't produce anything. People are looking for new ideas. Everybody's looking for a new idea. The opportunity to make money. If you look around you, the best idea yet is an idea which was born in the 1970s or 60s. This is the idea of today. Go back to your farms, go back to the land, produce and live. Because you have to be able to eat and preserve a lifestyle which doesn't have to be in excess. For all my big hotel chain, I drive a Polo. Why? It's the only thing that makes sense. It's not about money. It's about practicality. It's about understanding how the world, how everything flows in the world. You will come up with a new idea, which will be based, most probably, because this is the course of life, in something that was there in the 1960s and 70s and made sense at the time. And this is where you need a strategy. Being the most collective generation of our times, you will come up with a strategy that will be in itself a very collective thing. It will be something that will come from work that you will do together. It will not be the choice of one making decisions for us, and you know you don't like to be told what to do. I'm sure you do. I did it the same when I was at your age. I hated when they told me what to do. And of course, like a good revolutionary guy, I did what they told me to do. Up until now. It took me only 20 years after my college years to understand that you don't follow rules. You make rules respecting what's around you. Now, if we go to you in Greece, this is a very simple way of understanding how Greek works. For the last 20 years, we were given loans, we lived on borrowed money, and now today we are being stripped of our privileges that were given to us without our input. We didn't work for that money. We were just given that money. This is a reality. I may decide I like Tsipras or Samaras or whoever. Personally, I don't give a flip. The fact is that this was never my money. So it's time to make my own money. And it has to be the result of the process. The result of the process of producing something and somebody consuming this something. It has to be a need, it has to be an opportunity, it doesn't have to be a flick. I don't play, I don't gamble, I don't like to go to, scratch jokers and whatever they call it. This is the easy part which I'm trying to avoid. The fact is that we have a very, in the puzzle, the pieces are very easy to find. Greece is a diversified economy in any way you think about it. If you go to the European Union side, you see that 60% of our production, of our economy, is coastal. Anything that has to do with tourism, sea, marine, that's it. Shipping, probably 60% of our total economy is around anything that's that even resembles water. Because now I also have to think this sustainability thing. Number 2 in the agenda of the European Union is waste management. So sewage is probably somewhere there. Don't forget this. Most people move to Athens to find an opportunity for work, like they moved in the big cities in the last, mostly in the 80s. No, wrong. Never look at that. The opportunities are always where there is not a saturated market. Tell me, where are you from? Anyone? Not from Athens, please. Someone who has origins from a place, has a house, a farmhouse. What do you call the exotico? A summer house.
Country house.
Paros. Do you see opportunities in Paros? Do you see any opportunities in Paros? Name one. Tourism. Tourism and agriculture. I'll tell you something. When anything touristic flourishes in one location, the first thing that happens is someone opens a cafe, a bar. Then another one opens a mini market. Then another one opens another mini market because he is not supposed to take all the money from the guys that want to go to the mini market. Of course, then there's a third guy that opens another mini market, and then the market is very full. But the fact is that the opportunity comes from development. Development comes from the economy. Tourism offer, I use the word offer because it's an offer right now, 35 billion to the Greek economy, which is not loan-based. So we don't have to return that money. This is our money. We work for it, we were paid for it, we were paid for our services. This is money, our money. No interest rate. This year we're looking very closely to 38 billion. Good money. Most of that money is not in Athens, but it flows everywhere in the economy of Greece. So look for the needs and the opportunities of the regions of Paros, of Sifnos, of Chalkidiki, of any place in the world. We have the richest country in the world. We have the richest minds in the world. We lack will. We lack strategy. We lack focus. I'm sure it's somewhere in your textbooks. At least it was in mine. Think how the world is shaped. Take that knowledge and do whatever you think, but in a place where you have the opportunity and you see the need. Sustainability is a favorite. Okay, my environmental concerns are a bit higher than the average 40-year-old. I'm not even 40 though. We won't go there. Sustainability has 3 legs: society, environment. And one thing that most people don't understand, they seem to be forgetting. People, they're in the center of everything. If we focus on anything else and we take ourselves out of the picture, then we're not in the center of anything. Technologies, yes. Workplaces, you probably will find some. But don't mistake an opportunity for a job opportunity. Most of the entrepreneurs in our society will be looking at something that's not necessarily your interest or my interest. There was a big textile industry in the last decade in Greece who moved from 3,000 employees and a production X to 350 employees and a production 4X. So, is Is this an opportunity or a threat? Someone made a lot of money by decreasing the labor cost and using automation, and approximately 3,000 people were left without a job. Not in Athens. I will not tell you anything more. I don't have to name anyone, but you can look at it, and you can link it to the 27% unemployment rate we have here. Automation should not be used as a substitute. It should be used as a facilitating tool, and this is something that you will be challenged with over and over and over. Sustainability is the word of the future. There are opportunities, there are job opportunities in sustainability. I would urge you, whatever your field of expertise will be, to look into that. Let's go a little bit on my area of expertise, which is the hospitality right. This is not a job. This is not a sector of the economy. This is nothing. This is just a web, linking everything together. Let's interact a bit, and we'll see how easy it is to come up with an answer. We have a hotel. How do you get people to get into the hotel? Anything that pops to mind. Advertising. Advertising is made by advertisers. Advertisers don't always advertise just hotel or business, but you just about anything. Anything.
Increase quality.
Quality. In some areas, like Miss Margarita here, we have a quality department trying to enrich the product. It's not about only visiting a hotel and staying in a hotel. So this is a different sort of job, a different job description, title. Yeah, anything. You need a legal department. You need laws. You need lawyers. Okay, personally I don't need lawyers so much. But anyway, the fact is, you need some lawyers. Social media. So you need someone, you need a programmer, you need a social media expert. You're not an expert, we have our own expert in social media, that's easy.
Maybe by collaborating with other businesses.
Now this is a link that most people don't understand. From construction, you need to build a hotel. Some people have to build a hotel. Labor, in any sort of, in any form you can think of, is around construction. Architects, designers, interior designers. You need transport, airlines. Nothing happens without the airlines, or shipping if you want. Agriculture. 70% of my own products in our hotel chain was imported. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. Why? It was cheaper. Why? It was easier to get in the door, get it to our hotels. Today, it's the other way around. 60% is Greek, 40% is foreign. Why? Because most Greek producers understood that exporting can happen next door. I can produce in my farm here, but the most obvious exporting business is tourism. More than 90% of the tourists are foreigners. But instead of consuming the products that the Greek land produces in their country, they can do it in a hotel next to you. So this is also exporting business to them. And actually it's much more secure and it can get much more cheap than they think. Why would you have to package or transfer or anything when you can actually send it? Mikey, έχω πατάτες. Πόσα θέλεις, τόσα. That's the only thing they need to know. Local communities. If we were not important enough, then our dear mayor in Creta, where some of our hotels are, would not raise his, I don't even know how they call them, the fees. They have a tax, a local tax, which are municipality fees, 83% in 1 year. I'm sure he has his reasons. Elections are 2 months away. No, I'm not a vindictive guy. He's dead. Okay, the fact is, local communities make most of their money from the touristic activity. And this is how they preserve the lifestyle of the people living in the local communities. It's a vicious circle, but it's a good circle. It's a producing circle. New technologies, I won't forget them because I tried to link them from the beginning of my speech. Yes, they are a very good tool. Social media, online registration, everything is linked together. And let's spend a little bit more time on that. Now we'll shut up. This again is the question that pops again and again. What do you think? Is it an opportunity? Is it a threat? Is it both? Is it...
It depends on how you use it.
Yes. Can you identify a threat? The opportunities, I'm sure you'll find very easy. I want you to identify the threat. I'll help you with one example.
If your clients write very bad comments for your hotel and publish this comment online, then you are in big trouble.
This is my favorite subject. Have I ever told you that? No. Why? We live in the extortion era. Not in the era of saying our mind, speaking our mind. Speaking our mind is easy. But this is the extortion era. I'm one day in the hotel and I already published a bad comment, and then I go to the manager of the hotel and say, can you please upgrade me this week? What will the hotel do? I deal with Russians. We're not supposed to laugh. Yes, in fact, yes, you laugh for the right reasons. I mean, you think the Russian mob is bad? Try having a Russian client. They're really good, but they come, they walk through your door and say, 2 hours in the hotel, you go to the TripAdvisor of the Russians, which is as popular as TripAdvisor, and they say, I don't like the color of the shades. And I don't like your face, but I let you in anyway. But the fact remains that this guy, at the end of the day, gets a free meal or something, if we like him. In a more advanced society, he would get a free spanking. Let's look at it a little bit more into detail. Operation. This is an online, actually it's a mobile booking tool. Correct? A few years ago, this was done by some of us, someone amongst us. Now it's done by a mobile opportunity or friend. You don't have to answer this because there's no real clear-cut answer on that. It's better for the enterprise, it's better for the company, it's worse for some of us. But in this vicious circle, the guy that was left without a job is not a tourist anymore because he doesn't have the money to travel. Vicious circle, again and again. Energy. Now I have something which is not very popular, but we've done it so I can show you something. This is an opportunity, clear-cut opportunity. It actually creates 2 different jobs. It does not take the job anyway. This follows. This is actually from our method. We have a solar panel which produces heated water, and we control the temperature of the water and the production of the sun at any given time. Someone has to monitor this through a computer. In the past, this was not there, of course. You had water or you didn't have water. It was either hot, mild, or cold. Now we can control the entire process, and this is a quality issue. And we have 2 people looking at that in every different region that we have hotels and operate. This is an opportunity, clear opportunity. Sales, promotion, blah, blah, blah. I'm very nice, I look very nice, I look very good, I don't know what. I've been there, I've been here, good publicity. Saying where you've been, stating your feelings about your experience is really good. Hopefully you're honest. Okay. Threats or extortions are just a minor percentage, but it's still a very important percentage. Now, this also created a job, a serious job. Okay, I'm just joking. But it's true. We need someone to monitor social media. And also we have 3 other people looking at every different country, speaking every possible language to look what they write about us. I'm not happy about it, but it's a necessary job. Someone has to work in that field. Opportunity or threat? Airlines. In the old days, we had about 12 people in the counters waiting for check-in. Now there's a thing called baggage drop-off. Someone picks up your bags. It takes about 1/10 of the time to do the entire process. It's over. No more than 3 or 4 people in the flight. Less jobs. At the same time, convenience for us. And minimum human interaction. We will come back to that. Because hospitality is about human interaction. If you take that away, there's nothing left. So the good thing about hospitality is that it allows us to think of our future in the productive economy, not outside of it, or overlooking at it, or being angry and going down to cinema and chatting with Lucanico. You know the dog, right? Or Lucanicos. He doesn't cross the light if the light is not green. How can he see? He is colorblind. That dog impresses me every time. We don't call it hospitality anymore. This is textbook material. We don't like textbook material because it takes away again wherever we are. We call it philoxenia because it's a Greek word, it's an ancient word, it's a word that tells us that we want them to come here, we want to interact with them, and we want him to spend his time with us and not just choose from 10,000 hotels in any different beachfront site. And this is the challenge for Greek tourism. We have to show that Greece is different. How do we do that? Mr. Parsons, who will come a little bit later in the day, will tell you a little bit about the strategy of Serbia. I will just refrain from saying anything more, but just think of this word, philoxenia. It's not right to call it hospitality or tourismos. Even in most of my speeches, I tend to erase the word tourismos. It annoys me. You will come out of this institution knowing a few things. We're only going to take 5 minutes. We are very polite. In most of my speeches, they go like Alexandros. Okay, this is something you need to know. Applicable knowledge. Whatever you know, make sure that you can use it. I want to be a lawyer. Who gives a tip? Can you be one? Can you make a difference as one? That's the question. That's the interesting part of what you do here. You take tools with you, and when you go outside, you have to make sure where, locality, when, timing, and how you will apply the knowledge that you have. Yes. Using new technologies. But do not be abused by them. There was a joke in the internet that says, what sort of guy likes himself in the post he makes? There's always Mrs. Lucretia in the back giving you the finger. Even if you don't know about it. So just to make it a little bit clear, whatever you do in your future, you have to remember that we are important. The rest is just a means. We don't try to substitute humans with technology. I watched The Terminator to find a quote to send you. But I found this movie is a little bit outdated. What's not outdated about The Terminator is the fact that sometimes, well, in some years from now, machines will be substituting people. And then it will be obsolete. Human touch. Yes, we go hand to hand with technology. But technology is the means, and the planet, Earth, nature, us, is the end. Thank you.
Do we have any questions from the audience, please?
You're overwhelmed, man.
Okay, Professor Deree.
First of all, I would like to thank you very much for being here today with us. And I would like you to spend a few minutes to tell us about the symposium effort, connecting local agriculture with tourism and with philoxenia in the areas that you have hotels. Thank you.
Symposium was an initiative that we started 5 years ago. The effort was, well, at the time tourism was looking really bad. Greece had a very negative image in the world, so we tried to change things around a little bit, and we used the only thing that at the time was not somehow pointed what was the expression there? The fact is that agriculture and products and gastronomy, we looked at it from every different angle, has not dropped in the minds of people around the world. They always thought that Greece is very high in that regard. So we tried to use that to bring tourism back up again by something that's a part of touristic product that we offer. So we did a first effort. We traveled in 7 cities around the world, used Greek chefs, Greek products, and I think it was mostly the Western markets, right? It was, at the time it was Germany, Brussels, and France. The impact was very good. We showed, we took away a little bit, you know, I don't know if most of you are familiar with the old Kerasma. Kerasma was done by the initiative of the Greek government for exports, OPE. And we shifted it around a little bit because the problem with OPE was sustainability in time and the fact that it did not have interactive tools in it. And we know that interaction does most of the work rather than the showing and speaking to people. So we gave them aprons, hats, and all the materials. We hired a few of our own people to do the cooking. We have an executive chef who's the president of the Chef Club of Crete, and he designed a menu that was mostly Greek. And year on year we changed the concept. We moved from city to city and we tried to cook together in atelier the chef sort of thing, not just in any kitchen or any restaurant. And this has built for us a database of around 5,000 travel agencies with whom now we have a personal relation. This year we are traveling to almost 24 cities, if I recall correctly. I mean, we started with 17, but we cook for EOT and OPE. It's a tool offered to anyone who wants it. It's mostly subsidized by us. We don't take money for it. If colleagues of ours want to join, they will have to chip in just to make sure that this does not go out of proportion because it's an expensive tool to use. And altogether we have reached 60-something cities in the world in the last 5 years. And people understand the link between gastronomy and tourism as an integral part, one of the other. And I think it's a very, very interesting approach. I mean, if we do it for 5 years, there has to be some reason. I mean, I like spending money like the next guy, but I think it's something that's worth looking at. You can go and look at it in Facebook or in the site, symposio.gr, and see how it works.
Thank you very much. Other questions? We have a question from a student, please.
First of all, I would like to thank you for this presentation. And the second, I have a question according to the local authorities. How easy is for you to convince local authorities to collaborate with your hotel and other hotels so as to increase the quality of the region? It's a problem that Greeks do not collaborate so much effectively because they try to take their own benefit from each investment. So what's your opinion about that?
It's a very good question, and that's why you're Generation Y. We are not a collective bunch of people, Greeks. And this is something I would urge you to look into deeply. The guy that looks on his own benefit will never get far ahead. The thing is that local authorities and municipalities and tourism are interlinked, whether they like it or not. How can I make them understand this? A hotel that closes because it cannot be sustainable towards the banks or towards the tax office or whatever is a problem for the local authorities because they miss some income. We have to use that as an argument towards them. Does it work? Not necessarily, not very easily. Who votes for the local authorities and municipalities? The people. Are the people, most of them at least, the entrepreneurs of the region? No. So, the decisions are made by the voters rather than by the people that sustain the voters in the lifestyle, whatever lifestyle is that. Problem there. But, to give a bright side, I will tell you something about Santorini. Santorini is the only place in Greece where there is I think it's a monthly meeting, if I'm not mistaken it's monthly, where the local municipality, the chef, the president of the chef club there, the president of the local hotel association, the producers, and someone else that I don't recall, but I will find out soon if you and the winers, sit together in one table and make a strategy for the island. Which is the most effective way to do this? By trying to sell services of one sector to the other as a necessity. Now, let's look at China. You can't advertise in China. China is huge. However, Santorini is the most successful place in China. By far. Everybody that comes to Greece goes to Santorini. Why? They made a stance. They made sense. They made sense to the clients. The only thing we need to do is localize a lot. I mean, Santorini has to be a brand for Greece. Mykonos has to be a brand for Greece. Creta has to be a brand for Greece. If you see the yacht advertisement, Greece, and then with small letters, they have Santorini. Well, this does not work. You don't see it anywhere in the world, just in Greece. Because, of course, we have to be different. Not necessarily smart. If you go to Spain, you see Canary Islands with huge letters, and somewhere there you might find Spain. Branding a location allows you, me, everyone, to link with the local municipalities and make them understand that this is our common project. We're not part of Greece. Greece is happy to have us. You remember when the Syntagma thing, whatever we can call it, happened? It totally destroyed tourism for Greece. We lost 17% of our power in 1 year. And Syntagma did not even affect any other place in Greece. However, Syntagma Greece, Mykonos Greece, would have really solved that problem. But if you want to use Greece as a brand, then it affects everything. It contaminates everything. You cannot work around it. So it's difficult, but we have the example of Santorini. I'm really looking forward to seeing other people doing the same.
Thank you very much, Mr. Angelopoulos, for your presence. We'll take a short 3 minutes break and then